That is so fucking slippery. Fuck. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Blore and Mandalore. I am your host, Jeremy Blore, and just another quick apology. I slipped over in the fucking water, as you would have seen. And, I just decided not to bring my lightsaber because I couldn't trash my holy grail in this water. Absolutely no idea why I wanted to film here. I was actually meant to film on this pylon just up there, and I was like, oh no, that'd be kind of cool. Let's go down to the water. Look, guys, today we are going to be talking about possibly the greatest outlet for Star Wars. For me, personally, it's the only way that I can truly express my love for Star Wars, and that's gaming. Gaming is by far one of my biggest hobbies. I'm doing it most nights. Maybe not Star Wars games all the time. That's fucking freezing. Maybe not Star Wars games all the time. Like, I'm not constantly playing and thinking and talking about Star Wars, unless I'd be a Star Wars nerd 00. Oh! No, got you. If anyone who doesn't know, he's one of the goats of this channel. No, but honestly, gaming is fucking phenomenal at the one thing that I think that TV shows really struggle and movies just, they can't exactly get there, and that's immersion. Look, so many games over so many years have tried to throw us into a universe, and none of them have succeeded quite like Star Wars. We're seeing multiple releases of different kind of Star Wars games these days that just completely blow your mind. Not only with graphics, but it's just gameplay and lore and just... It's such a thorough understanding of the universe itself. You can't feel, but you're just genuinely inside of this beautiful universe. It's honestly such a good escape. Like, I personally use gaming myself as one of my greatest outlets, just as a bit of an escape from my regular life, which, aside from being probably the most famous Star Wars YouTuber in the whole entire world, 109 subs at the fucking moment, baby. Thank you so much to everyone out there. The famous life can kind of get to me. So it's really cool to kind of just get out of a world that's not all like, Blore and Mandalore. No, I'm being a cock. And I'm also being eaten by fucking mosquitoes. I think this was the wrong decision. I don't know if maybe you can see it on the camera. It's going to be like little specks going around there. No. ADHD's got to fucking calm the fuck down. Guys, gaming for me, I'm going to talk about some of the biggest reasons as to why the future of Star Wars is games. I don't think that movies and TV shows are going to cut it anymore, be that animated, be that anything. Like, it is just not the same as what you can get with future technology. Now, games in the past, some amazing, beautiful games. My favorite of all time when I was growing up was Lego Star Wars. I don't actually know. It's not the Skywalker saga, but I'm pretty sure it's the complete saga. I don't know if it's actually that. I will correct myself on the screen. That game, mind-blowingly awesome. That was actually one of the first games that I would sit down and try to complete. And I did complete 100%. Actually 100%. It was the first game that I kind of sat down and I go, well, the rewards actually outweigh all of the time that I would have to put in and do it. Now, I was on the Wii. I was using the old nunchuck and bloody stick. And that shit was incredibles. I fucking loved it. Every single time. I'd be playing a lot with my stepmom. She was first to complete it before me. We had a jailbroken Wii. And it was just, it had every single game. But I could not get off both Lego Star Wars and, man, come on. The game that introduced us to Starkiller. Come Come on. The Force Unleashed. That shit was fucking bonkers. I remember that was the first one. When I was swinging my sword, my lightsaber on the Wii, I was like, oh my god, like I'm literally in the fucking movie. Like this is me. This is absolutely me. And I mean, I played number 2, the second game. I actually didn't even know there was a first one before that. I was an actual idiot when I was younger. Maybe I'm still an idiot now. But, you know, I mean, I remember playing these games growing up just going, literally nothing can get better than this. Nothing can get better than this. Fast forward some time. I actually never grew up playing the original Battlefront, okay? The original Battlefront is honestly, like, those games, I tried to play it a little bit. They are so much fun. I never played Knights of the Old Republic. I never played any of those. My next game after all of my childhood glory years, I actually played Battlefront 2, but the EA version. I believe it came out in 2017. Holy shit, that was the worst fucking game as it released. We started to see the downside of Disney owning Star Wars by selling it out to one of the biggest fucking shit cunts of the entire gaming industry, EA. EA Sports. It's in the game. Look, EA is by far one of my most hated. Genuinely. That and Ubisoft, which is so annoying that all of the games are being created by EA and fucking Ubisoft. But, I mean, although I do not like EA, they, in the end, they created this absolute masterpiece of this game. Like, behind all of those paywalls that are initially started, like, what the fuck? You could never grind out to get Vader. You absolutely could not. You had to pay money. If you wanted to play as the most lethal guy in the whole game, and it was literally a pay to win. I remember at the time, like, if you actually, you can do a fun thing at home. Oh, homework. You can go onto Battlefront 2, the EA, go onto offline, okay, and you're going to get the hard-wired settings of what it was when it initially was released. It's fucking wild. Now, Battlefront 2, later on, when they got rid of all of those pay-to-wins, when they started making everything possible to grind, they left it. They left one of the most incredible games that I've ever played. Photorealistic. I mean, you can play it right now. And you will look at the things, at the settings and anything. And you will actually and legitimately question if it was made this year or not. I'm pretty sure, I could be completely wrong, and please correct me in the comments if I am. It was designed based off like that photo-realistic shit when they basically scanned the sets and scanned the whatever, and then they could put it in. Again, could be very wrong. That sounds so wrong, but I also could be fucking bang on the money. You know, it's one of the most beautiful things that I've ever been able to witness, and especially as a Star Wars fan, where I've been able to kind of like express my love for clones and understanding all the different factions and playing, and you get all of the backgrounds. It's one of the greatest things to have as a Star Wars fan. Not even just a Star Wars fan, but as someone who just loves games and loves being able to play co-op with friends. It reminded me so much of what it was in the old days, of where you had the wired up consoles and you, like, everyone was kind of all big split screen and everyone was crowded around the screen. I mean, depending on the household, if anyone was screen cheaters, I mean, that was my brother. You'd have cardboard up on the screen so it would go like one half, the other half. You know, it reminds me of those days. The classic days of you versus the Horde. It's you and your mate. It's bros. It's the final stand. It's everything that a guy has ever dreamed of since he was a kid. And I miss those days. I miss those games. I miss everything to do with that time where it wasn't as simple as, oh, we just need to make the next biggest money-grabbing game. Like I feel like Star Wars Outlaws is. Now, don't get me wrong, I haven't played it, and I don't plan to for a bit. I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to let them kind of tinker with it, fix it, because I've seen a lot of stuff, and from very reputable sources. Before anyone goes, oh, well, you can't say you hate it if you don't. I don't hate it. I just don't like the general premise of it. I don't like the general premise of most games these days, and it's the one thing that you need to fucking fix. Put out a game that fucking works. How about we go back to a time when the games that were released were completely finished. No bugs. No nothing. And if there were bugs, that were minor. It was textural. It was on the screen. You couldn't fucking do anything about it. Who gives a fuck? It's not affecting gameplay. The whole hours and hours of early access to play Star Wars Outlaws just to have everything shot down in front of you. That kind of fucks me up. That really fucks me up. Like, I get that it's hard, and I get there's so many things going into it. But new games just aren't like what they were. They haven't been for so long. And I feel like it's the next medium for us to enjoy Star Wars. No one can agree on a movie. No one can agree on a TV show. Doesn't mean that they can't ever, and they won't ever. But I think that sporadically, if you give us like a sprinkle of movie, and you really fine-tune it, you perfect it, you give us like the most perfect compilation, Pornhub compilation. You give us like a compilation of like a whole amount of years put together. Give us a bunch of fucking movies and spark that interest. Because I can tell you, Star Wars gaming is not dead. I can absolutely tell you, without a shadow of doubt. I'll tell you how. When the latest TV show drops, when the latest movie drops, go on to Battlefront 2. The EA one, okay? Go on to a Heroes vs. Villains. You'll fill out a server within minutes. For a game that is over 5 years old, what the fuck? You never find that. You absolutely never find that. You never find a more loyal fan base than a Star Wars fan base. All we want is what we fucking ask for, which is more depth into the universe. Don't just stick with the fucking Skywalker saga. Which is why I feel like Star Wars Outlaws has kind of failed. I mean, it's not necessarily failed. They've done well. But like the sheer price tag on a game that is so buggy, it doesn't excite me. Give us games that are fully finished. Give us games that are fucking ready to play. And we'll enjoy it. Because I can promise you there is a fan base out there. I'm sorting the mozzies away. I can promise you there is a fan base out there. There will always be people who want to and will enjoy Star Wars. Now, I know it might be a little difficult to kind of look at now and go, well, the glory days are behind. Disney owns Star Wars. It's all gone to shit now. Look at the Acolyte. Look at all those problems. It's so easy to turn to negativity. It's absolutely. And I talked about this in my previous episode with the future of Star Wars. It's so easy to turn to this negative side of just like, bah humbug. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think you can do that with games. I really genuinely do. I'm so sick of this Fortnite-style game of you got to pay to win, pay for skins, all that kind of stuff. By all means, give us monetary choices to be able to customize our character, but don't make them the only choices. I'll give you a successful game that's recent, and it's from one of the people that I said I hate. The Jedi series. That's Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Those games, hands down, some of the most incredible games that I've played. I made the mistake of playing it after I played Elden Ring, which just that game is just fucking phenomenal. Like, that game is seriously one of the best games that's ever been created. Other than the Ark Survival Ascended. No, I'm going to stream that soon. Yeah, you guys have no choice. I have to stream it. It's like my favorite game. But those games did everything perfectly. It did everything that we needed and everything that we wanted. We got our hero. He had flaws, but he was strong enough to rise above them. You learnt so much more about so many different things within the universe. It was accurate to lore. It gave us all of the tiny little hints of, you know, and this person's related to this, and we know this and this and this. It had everything, and it created more. Look at the Survivor game, when he's using a blaster. Now, everybody knows, like, if you are a Jedi who has the most incredible eyesight, right? And, I mean, think about it like the Force, you can just kind of hone in on something exactly. There'd be like eagle eye. No wonder a Jedi doesn't have a blaster, because it'd be too easy. That's why they are actually restricted to lightsabers, because it is a form of combat that is honorable. Very much like the samurai, where George Lucas was inspired heavily by the samurai. But introducing blasters into the game, like kind of fixing up the lore between Kylo Ren and, you know, having that double exhaust port, showing that it was from the High Republic. Like, you can do this. You can give us stuff that isn't hard. It's not difficult to make a game's story. Now, it's difficult to make a game. I will never, ever say that it's easy. I've never done it, so I could never... I mean, I've done slight bits of, like, graphic design, and fucking hell, that was hard. But the actual premise of making a story for a game is not hard. It's absolutely not hard. It's not something that I would go, well, you know, it's gonna take too much time and too much effort. No, like, you literally have to stick to the basics. What is the Star Wars universe? It's a universe that shows that no one is ever truly evil and that they can always return. Everyone who is good will always touch upon the dark side, but they will rise above that. That people can make mistakes and they can learn from them. Fuck, I just gave you pretty much every single fucking story. Pretty much every single fucking story from Star Wars is just that right there. Almost every character is like that. All you need to do is replicate with a sprinkle of something new. Sprinkle of something new. And you know what? Effortlessly, you could see tons of people in the fan base after the Jedi Survivor talking about Kylo Ren's exhaust ports and how they're so fucking cool. So many people, when that lightsaber came out, everyone was like, oh yeah, you know, it's kind of cool, but fuck that shit. Doesn't make fucking sense. Rah, 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 rah. This one is sick. They even revived Jedi from the High Republic. Insane. Used High Republic technologies. Showed us Jedi stuff, which is just, you know, like old, you know, showed us in the Bad Batch as well. It's like... What I'm trying to say is, if you allow the Star Wars fans to be able to use their imagination, that is what's going to make it successful. People get upset about new Star Wars projects and new Star Wars games, whatever it may be. They get upset about new projects because they can always imagine what could fit into the space that is void. And when you fill it with something that they are not accustomed to in their own head, they don't like it. It's the problem with how beautifully created the universe is. The depth of knowledge and variety of characters. You can create stories out of thin air that fit perfectly. And it means that not everyone's going to be allowed to create their little microclimate that they love and their head canon, as people call it. But games allow us to do that. Games allow us, and they give us a chance to use our imagination how we see fit. I want to see, personally, for me, I want to see a Dark Souls version of Star Wars. Now, if any one of you, I mean Connor, from Beyond the Dune Sea, fucking best show, Connor would fucking agree with me. A Dark Souls Star Wars would be the best fucking game ever. Would be the best game ever. Tap into that. Tap into that. Show us that. I would 100%, like, I would pay every single dollar that I had in my bank account to be able to see that. But that gives us imagination. It gives us the ability to use what we have trapped inside here, our little fucking headcanon, and create our own. It makes everyone happy. And honestly, it's such a great outlet for people. Like, gaming is, yes, it can seem antisocial, but there are ways around that. The multiplayer aspects of it, you know, removing toxicity. It's just, I think it's the way to go. I think gaming is the way to go, and I am so excited to see the future. I'm keen to hear what you guys think. I'm getting absolutely fucking demolished by mosquitoes, so I'm going to go do the fan questions at home. I'll catch you guys there. We are back in the kitchen because I also have to cook dinner, so I thought, fuck it, I may as well just finish the rest while doing this. Well, this is my twin brother, Patrick Bloor. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Guess the bodybuilder. Guess the bodybuilder. You probably said me. You're wrong. He's a bodybuilder. He does a lot of gym stuff. He just got gold in his recent competition. I'm cooking beef. We're going to get into the fan questions. Fan segment. He is a primary school teacher. Okay? He's a primary school teacher, and I got him to dictate from my writing, which is illegible. Absolutely horrid. It is illegible. It is illegible.
You cannot read this thing clearly. My kindergarten students write neater than what this young man has written on this page.
Well, they don't get me to write. They get me to make the best YouTube videos. And they also get the most popular YouTube videos. So, okay, let's get started. Fan segment. Basically, what I did was I just put out there, it was a pretty simple one. I just said, guys, tell me your favorite game and why the fuck it is your favorite game. A lot of the answers here are telling of what I said before. Patrick, you may speak.
Apologies if I butcher any pronunciation. I promise it is solely due to the illegible handwriting. Adam C. Gilbert legible. 3 states that OG Battlefront 2, the lore and countless hours played with childhood friends and at college too.
See, I never gave OG Battlefront 2 a go. I mean, I've always been the EA one. But, I mean, dude, it had to start from somewhere. Well, sorry, the 2017 one. But, yeah, no, that's a fantastic, fantastic game and one that honestly got so many people into Star Wars gaming. So, can respect that. I actually had very similar times with the 2017 one. Pat, let's go next one.
Beyond the Dunes Sea, OG
the
Battlefront 2, Galactic Conquest, all day.
Beyond the Dunes Sea doesn't get much wrong, and they fucking fired with this one. Basically, Galactic Conquest was one of the biggest settings that you could do, one of the biggest game modes, I should say, sorry. Basically, you could just have a whole bunch of different forces, and it's like two massive armies fighting, not just like two heroes. You know, like heroes versus villains. No, not that, motherfucker. It's the big ones. Pat, let's go to the next one. Sorry, I don't mean to click at you.
Next one is The Rayside. Star Wars Pod Racer on Nintendo 64. It's just, in all capitals, elite.
Have you seen the Rayside stuff?
Yes.
Yes, I didn't even prompt that one. She has got some awesome videos going on her YouTube right now. As well as Beyond the Dune Sea, they're always cracking out the #1 hits. But the Rayside just had the most insane interview with one of the biggest stars of The Mandalorian. I'm going to get you as a surprise. I want to leave it as a surprise. Go onto her channel. Go check that one out. And she said about the pod racer from Nintendo 64. Patrick, you would know the Rayside so well because you watch all of her videos all the time, right?
Yes, always.
Yeah, all the time. Wow, no prompting again.
Daily.
Basically, she is the world's biggest fan of the prequels. And I mean, anything that she says, any fucking character. I remember I put a thing of like your favorite Star Wars characters, and she just did the most obscure bloody prequels characters. Like, come on, mate. No one really knows all of those dudes. Never got to play that game. Maybe that's something that I might actually do in my gaming series that I've got coming up. Have you ever played that game?
Which game?
The Nintendo 64.
It rings a bell. It rings a bell.
That means he's trying to be cool with all the cool kids, and he doesn't fucking know.
I'm just trying to fit in.
He's trying to fit in, but he's a one-piece loser. Yeah, that's hot.
Excuse me.
Okay. Next question. This is not your show.
No, I cannot allow you to diss the greatest show of all time. I'm sorry to all his fans, but One Piece is the greatest of all time. I am willing to die on that hill. Anyway, Ashton Charette says...
It's fucking shit.
Lies. Complete lies. He's a fan himself.
He doesn't even like One Piece.
He's a fan himself.
He doesn't even like One Piece.
Ashton Charette says Bounty Hunter... It's just so badass. We know origin of the jetpack, Slave One, Dooku's deal, etc. Look, the list goes on.
Basically, that was one of the coolest games, and one of the reasons that I said before when I was out getting splashed in ponds. It's a way, like Star Wars gaming is a way to be able to teach people about Star Wars through a fun way, through a way that you are immersed, you remember, you understand the lore. So many people learnt so much from these games. I've never actually played that one, but I've seen a whole playthrough on YouTube like a fucking loser. But, you know, I'm not as big of a loser as this guy watching One Piece. But, you know, I mean, that's a fucking awesome game. Really cool. I actually plan on playing that one. So, Ashton, if you are watching for a long period of time, hey, brother, check it out. Check out my juiciness that's coming to town. My milkshakes are going to bring all the boys to the yard on the stream. Next one, Pat.
Again, I just want to state I don't stand for this slander of the greatest of all time.
Okay. Next one.
The next one, Josh Tyrrell 1.
Who's that guy?
The guy sounds pretty sexy, I'm not going to lie. Battlefront 2, baby, because of all the good times my best friend and I have had on the game.
Aww. That's my best boy.
Sounds like a cutie, ain't gonna lie.
He's a cutie. He's also single and ready to mingle. If you want to look up his username, basically, he's the guy that when I talk about gaming and talk about like the long nights that I've had and my love for gaming, he's been like right by my side. We have been absolutely becoming gremlins because of video games. Like spent honestly like thousands of hours on stuff. And Battlefront 2 was just one of those games. Like that was one of the ones. Pat, you would always join. Pat would always join in these ones. The co-ops when it came to like clones and shit like that, that was our fucking jam. Yeah. We used to do that all the time. Actually, a couple of mates.
Yeah, I wish I had the chance to play more often, but unfortunately, I don't have the luxury.
It's excuses.
When I do get the chance to play with the boys, it is a very enjoyable evening.
It's one of those games that you can kind of like switch on, you know it's going to be good. Like, obviously there's going to be times where you want to play a game and you go, oh, you know, I wonder if this is going to be, like, I'll try it out. I don't know, but that one is one of the ones where it's like, man, you know, guaranteed you're going to fucking switch that one on. You're going to kill some clankers and you're going to fall in love with being a clone again and again. I'm technically a clone because I'm a twin.
Yeah.
Pat, let's go to the next one.
We're a twin. There's no I in this. Star Wars Nerd 00, the Revenge of the Sith video game. That alternate ending surprised the fuck out of me. Full stop.
Star Wars Nerd 00. You've seen Star Wars Nerd 00's videos, haven't you?
I have, actually.
No prompting from that one as well.
I didn't even need prompting on that one because I've seen videos that Jeremy has shown me.
Yeah.
Jeremy's a big fan. So
Big fan. Star Wars Nerd 00.
I've engaged with his beautiful literature through the wonderful eyes of my brother.
Yes, I am basically his... How do I say? Star Wars Jesus? He's my disciple. No. But he's been a massive supporter. I do wish, actually. He's been a massive, massive supporter of my channel from day dot. Like, zero chance I could ever forget that guy. I've actually never played that game. I've never played that game, and I'd be really keen to do it. I've got a whole list of games. I'll probably chuck that one on that I'm going to play on stream or even just do like little videos on. So, watch this fucking space, dude. Love you, bro.
All right, John Englesos. Sorry, his writing is illegible.
You're a weapon, by the way,
has said The Force Unleashed because the lore was insane and had some well-designed characters. Now, John, I have to agree with you there. I remember back in the day, Jeremy and I would play The Force Unleashed on the Wii.
I talked about this before.
We would rip in after school in the afternoon. Whenever we got the chance on the weekends, it would be a very enjoyable game. We would often fight because it was a single-player game, or at least that's what my memory tells me.
Yeah, it was.
It was a single-player game, and so we'd often fight on who actually gets the chance to engage with such a glorious game. But look,
it was one of those ones that was like, it was die by die. Kind of like GTA has become. GTA has kind of become one of those, when you're doing a co-op thing, it's like, die by die. You do this, I'll do this. That game was like seriously pivotal for a lot of our kind of gaming experience. I literally talked about it before. I'm so glad you brought that up because I don't think anyone was going to believe me. I was kind of like talking mad smack.
No, when we grew up, we had lots of fun games like The Force Unleashed. We played Lego.
I talked about that again.
Yeah. Lego Star Wars, Lego Indiana Jones. But where could we go wrong with just constant afternoons and evenings on the glorious game that is Halo?
Halo. Halo was our number one.
Halo shaped our childhood. I'm willing to die on that hill.
Why are you dying on hills, dude?
Well, look,
seriously, you keep on saying you're going to die on a hill.
Someone's got to do it.
But there's not really a hill to die on. I think
that's because I've just done it. I've sacrificed myself.
That's fucking stupid, dude.
Nah,
that's
you're welcome.
Stupid.
Nah, look, I'm here for you guys to devote my life and to spread the positive message that One Piece is the greatest show of all time. Just want you all to remember that it has surpassed both Batman and Superman in manga sales. So
let's
anyway,
is that
the final one is from Darth Christensen 17.
Weapon. Love that lad.
The Force Unleashed because I love being Vader's apprentice and dicing stormtroopers up. Wonderful comment there from Darth Christensen 17.
Okay, brother's being a bit weird. So that was a fake ass fucking laugh. Anyways, I have honestly got so much fucking respect for you because you've said that. Anyone who says they love the Force Unleashed, brother, you're in my good books. You're in my honey pie sweet books. If I ever started an OnlyFans, you're getting a free sub. Okay. So if anybody loves free OnlyFans, then write down below what the hell you think of The Force Unleashed. Kind of like wrapping this up, and I guess Pat's gonna kind of be in it as well. Peace. I mean, look, Star Wars gaming is something that has revolutionized the whole franchise. It's something that's allowed us all to be immersive within this amazing universe that has been created by such an absolute fucking genius. It's, I think, personally, the future of Star Wars. I'd like to get your comment on that just at the end, Pat. But for me personally, gaming is just such a great way to be able to teach about the universe. It's not like it's necessarily something important, but you can add so many layers because the person who is playing as the character is actually committing the act that the character is doing. And it allows for so much more enjoyment for the whole franchise in itself. You can fix so many wrongdoings from movies that have tanked. You can introduce characters that will absolutely make you fall in love with the franchise. Like, I mean, you're thinking about Cal Kestis. Nobody knew, nobody cared who the hell he was before. And now we're seeing his lightsaber everywhere. We're seeing figurines. We're seeing big statues. Like, that kind of stuff resonates so heavily with fans. And I mean, Pat, what's your opinion as kind of like an outside view? You've obviously seen, I mean, everybody who's been commenting on this, like, thank you so much. But it literally proves my point. As you guys know, if you've seen my previous episodes, my fan segments, I mean, they're usually pretty good. But this is just like beyond. Literally 2 pages worth of questions, 2 pages worth of amazing people with honestly amazing comments. And it just goes to show how much gaming actually means to them. Pat, what do you think? Now, if I was to say to you, there was going to be no more movies, not as frequent movies, not as frequent TV shows, and there would be a lot more video games, would that be something that kind of upsets you as a fan of the franchise? Which Patrick's not necessarily a big fan like me, but he is a fan. He sits down, he watches all the shows with me. Like, we actually do enjoy this together. So I'm curious.
Personally, it depends on what the game is. If it's a single player game that I'm trudging through it by myself, look, I probably prefer the movies. But if there's a chance for me to get together with some of my best buddies and sit down and enjoy games that we thoroughly enjoy ourselves, where we can play together, learn together, make mistakes together, all that kind of stuff, that's kind of the memories that I hold on to quite dearly, is being able to share those experiences with my mates. So if there's a game that lends to a multiplayer aspect, then yeah, that's something I'd absolutely love. But if it's me having to trudge through the game by myself, I'll enjoy it, but it's not as fun as if I could play it with some of my friends.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's a pretty good point. I was talking before a lot about the single player point of view, and talking very much about how it's like that is the most immersive and that is the biggest option for people to be able to enjoy. But I kind of did forget really to mention just how important it is for that multiplayer aspect. Like those nights that I had with the boys, like chilling on co-op, I mean, I fell in love with certain troopers because of that. I wanted to do deep dives into different factions, and I wanted to know what the colors meant so we could have that individual faction. I mean, I would always have a joke with Josh. I always talk about how I'm the Coruscant Guard. He obviously knows I'm the Coruscant Guard, and he is absolutely not. He's the 501st. But, you know, it's little shit like that, you know, it holds it so much closer to my heart. So that's a pretty good point. That's a pretty good point, and I appreciate that, actually. Look, I'm probably going to leave it there. Probably going to cut it there. I'm going to finish cooking up what I call dino mash. I'm literally eating all of this. I'm chucking it all in this belly right here. Oh, sorry, that was so bad.
Disgusting.
Yeah, no, I just, you know, final little thing. I've been getting a lot of love for my recent video, The Future of Star Wars. I just want to say how much I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. I got right now, I've got 333 views.
Killing it.
333 views. I'm not killing it. You guys are killing it. You guys are killing it. The ones who are watching, the ones who are appreciating, who are liking, subscribing. Like, I can't thank you enough. I appreciate every single one of you. All 110. I literally, as I was walking back from the thing, I got another subscriber. So thank you so much. I love you all. You'll probably see him again sometime. Maybe not. We're probably going to do like a comparison between Star Wars and One Piece. Maybe, potentially.
I'll steal the show.
He potentially wants to start his own One Piece channel. So we will see. We will see. But just want to thank you. I hope a lot of this has kind of resonated with you guys. I hope you see the joy that I have for Star Wars and kind of like how it flows through so much more with the games. And it's definitely my biggest outlet. I hope you guys are somewhat similar, or at least you understand why it could be. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in, and thank you for reading out.
Peace
Sorry
out.
for anyone that I wrote down in my absolutely horrendous hieroglyphics.
Don't worry, I'll get him some dotted thirds, kindergarten writing lines,
shut the
and
fuck up.
maybe he'll be able to develop his writing.
You fucking stupid fucking primary school.
Well,
fucking
learn
shit
to
fuck.
write, buddy.
Yeah. I can write and read good, I swear. Love you all. Pat, say goodbye to the Mandalorians.
Much love, everyone. It's been a pleasure to be on the channel today. Hopefully, I'll see you all soon.
It's his debut.
Yeah, it was, actually.
Absolutely. Okay.
Much
Love
love.
you all. Love you all.
Much love.